Doing Zen Flesh, Zen Bones, story number 19, the first principle. When one goes to an Obaku temple in Kyoto, one sees carved over the gate the words, the first principle. The letters are unusually large, and those who appreciate calligraphy always admire them as being a masterpiece. They were drawn by a priest named Kosan 200 or so years ago. When the master drew them, he did so on paper, and then workmen would make a larger carving in wood. As Kosan sketched the letters, a bold pupil was with him and made several gallons of ink for the calligraphy, and the student never failed to criticize his work. That's not so good. Could be better. Something is a little off with that character. Gee, there's a little wobble there. Gee, you dripped a little bit here. Gee, that's not quite strong enough. Gee, you're getting worse. It's getting bad, you know. And you can imagine someone who is an artist, and they start trying a little harder, and trying a little harder, and straining a little more, and efforting a little more. And each time they start straining and trying and efforting, they get worse and worse. They become more and more self-conscious. He did this 84 times. And still, his student was not satisfied. Now, presumably it was a really good student who knew what this teacher was capable of. So if he didn't see the highest grade, he said so. But after 84 times, the pupil went aside for a few moments. And in that time, Kosan said, with a mind free from distraction, the first principle. The student came back and said, finally, a masterpiece. The judgmental mind, the critical mind, has two sides to it. On one hand, if we have a judgmental, critical mind inside ourselves, and we're constantly judging and evaluating, we can never be whole. Because judgment and evaluation cuts things in two. When someone is judging, and we can use that judgment simply as a marker, I could do better, okay, not there yet, I could do better. Then it can actually become a goad. It can actually become good information. It can actually become a boon. So in this case, here is someone who probably didn't have much self-criticism, probably was a pretty empty, clear person, and his student just kept saying, not there yet, not there yet, not there yet, not there yet, until the student left, and then without a thought of better or worse, without a thought of perfection, he just wrote. And in that writing, with no thought, with no better or worse, with no future or past, then it was a masterpiece. So actually, this is about our life. If we are living our life better, worse, better, worse, better, worse, not good enough, not adequate enough, we can't function. But if we can have a calm mind, if we are centered in ourselves, then criticism and judgment that comes from the outside, so to speak, actually becomes a boon. We can just use it. We can digest it. We can absorb it. So may all of us absorb everything that comes toward us.